myself into a pickle, Morty! Boom! Big reveal. I'm a pickle. What do you think about that? I turned myself into a pickle! I'm Pickle Rick!
Welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order?
Yeah, I'd like to get a 10-piece McNugget and a bunch of the Szechuan sauce. Like, as much as you're allowed to give me. As much as you're allowed to give me. As much as you're allowed to give me. Szechuan sauce. Szechuan sauce. And it's delicious. And it's delicious. Szechuan sauce. Szechuan sauce. And it's delicious. And it's delicious. Szechuan sauce. Szechuan sauce. And it's delicious. And it's delicious. Szechuan sauce. Szechuan sauce. Szechuan sauce.
And welcome to our podcast, Geeks Are Wired, where we talk about video games, TV, comic books, technology, and TLDR, the Internet of Things. This week, we have Alex.
The Geeks Are Wired official blowhard correspondent.
Wait, I thought that was Ted.
Am I a blowhard?
Well,
Alex did say you blow nothing but hot air.
That's true. And also, Szechuan sauce.
speaking of Szechuan sauce,
Anna.
we have Anna? Let's go that direction. I don't know.
That was not very PC.
Hello.
The people at home don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I remember having Szechuan sauce with Mulan. Yeah, when
Like
that
you
came
met her?
out.
No.
Yeah, I know.
McDonald's released Mulan-style Szechuan sauce
That's right.
before Rick and Morty.
Bill, I'm still going to judge you. That was a slip of the subconscious.
Slipping of the subconscious, we have Joe.
Why don't you say, speaking of potatoes, there's Irish Joe.
I didn't know you were
The
Irish.
French fries, you can dip
Oh.
them in the Szechuan sauce, too.
That is blasphemy.
Yeah. You just ask for extra so you have enough for your nugs and the French fries.
So you have to pay for more.
No, they don't usually charge you if you get a good teller. You got to butter
true.
them up. Tell them a funny joke.
Yeah.
And then you wink at them and say, how about an extra one of those Szechuans?
Or you wait until, the drive-thru, you get to, the last window. Like, oh, where's my extra? I need an extra one.
Yeah. Or just
Like,
be like, you
whatever.
forgot to give it to me. And they'll be like, oh, can I see your back? No. It's faster this way.
Well, there is those tellers. They're like, I gotta look at this. You ain't getting any more Szechuan sauce. Still can't say it.
You still have the container, and there's just there's a pile of S's and Z's, like those magnetic letters, with a Swatch watch in a cup. It's like that's pretty much the same thing. That's Szechuan shots.
Yeah, Bill, it is too bad this is audio only because a wink goes with that request. You gotta say, how about an extra wink?
Ah, there you go.
You gotta try it out. That'll be all the listeners' homework they can write in.
Yeah.
Does McDonald's do just single mail packets?
Yeah, I thought they did.
Because you could do some Szechuan fry sauce. By the way, weird fact: fry sauce is slowly making its Hordish way across the blues and now into Washington. There's actually burger places that do have legit fry sauce. I was getting fry sauce at I forgot what it was. It was like a Dairy Queen or something, and they're like, do you want sauce to your fries? I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, fry sauce. I'm like, what do you mean? Tell me, do you have it? And they're like, it's like mayo and ketchup put together. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll take that, please.
Yeah.
So I've been Googling and found something interesting about Szechuan sauce.
What about?
I haven't been paying attention to what you guys have been saying. I tuned you completely out. But so the Szechuan sauce story goes that McDonald's made 3 buckets of Szechuan sauce and gave it out on Twitter.
When was this?
This was back in July. So McDonald's actually sent it out, right? And one of the guys decided to put it on eBay and said that he would donate 10% of the proceeds to a charity. and it ended up selling for $1,500 to Dead Mouse. You know the
Oh yeah, the DJ guy.
Dead Mouse 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
The
so
man with the very large head.
Yeah.
did you see the packaging that Walmart sent him? It says
Walmart. You mean McDonald's?
Oh, McDonald's. Sorry, that's a different story later. McDonald's. It just came in a packaging from Dimension C-1998M.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Here's your bucket of shotgun hopscotch.
That's right.
Are there two other people on this podcast?
Yes, we still had. Yeah, we were sidetracking with the Szechuan
I know. I'm
sauce.
sorry. I got distracted and wasn't listening, so I wasn't sure where we were. Who else do we have?
We have Jordan.
Hey, actually, all this talk of Szechuan sauce makes me desirous of a Szechuan sauce sweater. It's not sweaty, so I don't want a sweaty Szechuan sauce sweater. Can you say that? Sweaty
Nope.
Szechuan sauce sweater.
I bet Anna can.
Yeah.
Sweaty Szechuan sauce.
Nope. Okay. So here's what it says.
15,000, not 1,500.
Ooh, even more impressive. So on the
10 times as
container,
impressive.
it says for use only McDonald's restaurants C-1998M during limited promotional window, and then maybe again 20 years later. Do not serve to mad scientists traveling with their teenage grandson, potential non-scientist version of mad scientists from an alternate dimension, and or Jerry.
Yeah.
Because seriously, screw Jerry.
You said that's a small print at the bottom of
Yeah.
the sauce?
Yes, at the big old big. It's like gallon jug containers they send out. They gave away.
I like that fast food places are starting to get into the geek sheep after Arby's just like dominated that game.
Mm-hmm.
Have you getting those Arby's sponsored posts where they do origami of like Arby's wrappers into obscure video game characters?
No.
You haven't been getting those?
No.
Oh my god, me and Jamie see all these Arby's ads on Facebook where it's just like a single picture of some character from a video game folded out of origami. It's like the official Arby's page, folded out of origami into like some video game character. And they were doing stuff like, they had like a nod to like Breath of the Wild. They had like this Guardian made out of like Arby's wrappers, and it looked totally great. And then the other day I saw Bass from the Mega Man series, a character who has literally not been in a video game for over 15 years, got a shout out from Arby's in my Facebook feed. I don't know like what depths of fan fiction they're trying to trawl for people to go into Arby's and get them to buy a beef sandwich, but Arby's has a death grip on video game culture that they're not willing to let go.
Alex,
There's got to be some intersection with beef sandwiches and video game fandom.
has it gotten you to buy a beef sandwich there?
No, but it got me to follow Arby's.
Hey, so
Yeah, that's a step in the right
working its
direction.
magic.
Yeah, Arby's is terrible. It's not a good place. Like the potato pancakes are okay, and that's it.
No.
Alex, I disagree. The beef and cheddar is delicious.
Beef and cheddar is the best. I don't even know what you call it. Sandwich, burger,
Yeah.
whatever. I don't care what it's called. It's the best out there.
I don't think I've had Arby's since Lagoon. How many years ago was that?
That was at least 2 years ago.
Basically, it's where you want to get Lagoon if you don't want to risk the vegetables at Subway.
They have Subways and Arby's at Lagoon?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I always get Arby's every time I go to Lagoon. And I
Apparent-
get it outside of Lagoon too, Alex.
You can get like a $15 foot long from Subway, or you can go to Arby's and get like a $6 just plain beef sandwich.
Apparently I'm hanging out the wrong parts of Lagoon. I always get like, candy and
No, you gotta
hot
get some
dogs and
Arby's.
other junk food.
You should do that and like just totally talk to the employees there, because like all the staff that work inside those restaurants, it's kind of like talking to like someone working in a North Korean grocery store. Like they talk about like how there's like cameras everywhere and like have these insane rules that are like para rules to whatever Subway's best practices are.
Well, apparently they're not that crazy if they're bashing on it while they're serving your sandwich. Like, this place sucks. Here's your sandwich. They have cameras everywhere.
When I said that, they put a folded up napkin in my hands with all that written down.
It was a snuck in napkin. Save me.
I'm ready to declare this. All fast food restaurants are basically the same. I can't tell the difference between their categories of food.
You're not wrong, sir.
Yeah, they're like Jack in the Box tastes like McDonald's, tastes like Burger King.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yeah,
no,
they taste
no,
different.
No, they are
don't
way
taste
different.
They don't taste different. to
Jack
me.
in the Box uses real meat. McDonald's uses like 90% soy.
And it tastes the same.
If you're
And they
lucky.
taste way different. Their
They
French
ta-
fries, they're
No, you
completely
need to sit
unique.
down and try those together because they are not the same. There is better burger places.
I guarantee you, we do a blind taste test. You get a burger from.
We've been meaning
from
to do
3
a
different-
blind
yeah,
taste
that's
test for
true.
a while.
Do like
We
5
should.
different burger places, and I will be able to tell you where they come from.
I mean, you can
Right.
definitely tell, but every one of those burgers has been focus grouped into like a knot flavor. So you can taste subtle differences, but you have to have like a very distinguishing American palate to tell them apart. Because I mean, essentially, they're all cooked essentially the same and come out tasting essentially the same.
Yeah, how distinguished is your palate for the non-flavor?
The
I
Burger
think
King
they're-
burgers and McDonald's burgers taste completely different.
Yeah.
Jack in the
Yeah.
Box is way
We
different.
Yeah.
have to do this taste test. I will bet you $10 you wouldn't be able
$10.
to nail
Okay.
every single one.
But
of
I
them.
got to approve the restaurants, the fast food places before.
No,
Okay.
I would say no. Even with that, stick with
Yeah,
the
do you?
basic. We're either they all have to be basic cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
The basic.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have
I'm
to
not
have
saying
it
the
close.
close.
food, but I'm saying
Yeah.
the restaurants.
Cheeseburger.
I'm saying the restaurants.
Yeah.
Like, if you come up with some local place, I would not be able to tell
So,
you
like-
that the burgers from like Tom's or something.
We'll do
Yeah.
like
Actually, I could.
Denny's,
Still.
McDonald's, Burger King, Jack in the Box,
Denny's.
and
No, you gotta do fast food. Just
One
the
of these
fast
things
food.
is
Denny's.
not
Do
Do you like
the other.
Wendy's,
yeah, Wendy's.
Burger King, Jack in the Box?
They have to have a drive-through
McDonald's?
window.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can tell them apart, but I mean, it's not that huge of a. I mean, like it's not that huge of a difference. Like you get a home cooked burger versus like a Wendy's burger.
Well, of course.
It's a massive difference.
Yeah.
Home
No.
cooked is way better. That's why you know.
Oh
and
my
what else?
gosh,
An
no.
Arctic Circle? Would that be fair? That's
Yeah,
the main
Arctic
burger
Circle.
places
I'm
around
not.
here.
I'll go with them being a burger place. I am not a fan of their burgers at
But
all.
that's still
I
fine.
can't.
So you should
That's
be
still
able to
the
tell
common
the
places
difference.
around
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well, so fast food lane.
Yeah.
that's 5. Anyone who could nail 5 out of 5, I will say I'm impressed.
But here's the
$10
thing.
bucks, $10
Also,
if I can.
$10, yeah.
here's the other thing.
you
Also,
have to
is
do
you're
5
also
out
saying
of 5.
no, you're also saying that they all will taste exactly the same.
I'm saying to my palate, they're indistinguishable. I'm saying to your palate, they're not distinguishable enough that
No,
you
he's
won't
saying in
nail
a
5
blind
out of
taste
5.
test.
I don't no.
Yeah.
I could probably say we could still do a test
Okay.
where we cut up the burgers and we don't feed you one after the 5 different burgers.
Mhm.
We mix and match. You'll get 2 or 3 of the same burger, and you have whether you're saying these will taste different or not. Like you get to try.
Is
You know-
this one the same as the one that you just gave me?
Yeah, basically, we're doing the taste test where you have the 5 different restaurants or fast food places, and you have to be able to determine which of the generic cheeseburgers comes from where.
Yeah.
What I see as the basis of this argument is basically a difference in semantics. Jordan is. I'll give you an example. If Jordan saw like a bunch of blind people reading a Braille book, he'd be like, "It's just bumps on a page. How can you tell them apart? You're just making it up." And blind people are saying, "Well, of course I can do this. I've been eating it. I've been reading this nonstop. I know how to read Braille." Jordan's making this wager with a bunch of fat guys, so of course they're going to know what all the burgers at all the restaurants taste like because they've eaten piles of them.
And pizzas. And
Jordan's
pizzas.
like the only recent vegetarian in the room, so I mean it's going to all kind of be the same. It tastes like a dead thing in a bun.
You have compelling logic, Alex, but I dare say that it is in fact just bumps in this case.
and pizza, they're different too. And I know that because I did do a giant. We're gonna check out all these pizza places and pick
Just
the
the
best.
pepperoni.
Okay,
pizza?
we'll see. We'll see.
It's a little more expensive to do pizzas over.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, it's quite a bit more expensive to do pizzas over hamburgers.
But if we get 5 people and each of them buy their own pizza
Mm-hmm.
and then bring that, and then you just do 5 pieces.
Everyone
slices
has
of
to do a pepperoni pizza from insert.
I think it would be easier with pizzas because you could distinguish it by the size of the pizza or how
Not
it's
always.
made.
Not all.
You, could
get
cut
the,
a square from the center of the.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Make it the same size.
Possibly. I feel like just shape-wise, I could recognize a Domino pizza from a Papa Murphy's pizza.
I think certain smells are greasy. Like some
I
of the
think pizza
greasiness.
would be easier than cheeseburgers. Cheeseburgers seem like
Man, now I want a
it's-
burger.
they
I
just
know.
blend
I know.
We're gonna have to go
together.
get food after this. We're done with the food.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for the
Yeah.
show, and
Yeah,
we'll
it's
see you
like
next
we're
time.
cutting
We're
it
gonna go
early.
get some burgers.
Yeah, short, simple, to the
I
point.
think we just had Five Guys last night too, Anna and I.
We had sushi last night.
Oh yeah, we had
It was
Five Guys on
the night before.
Monday. We've been eating out a lot this week. I blame Anna. She's having weird cravings.
Do you guys have a rice cooker?
Yes.
I just bought a rice cooker last week, and I've been like trying to find just sticky rice to go with different stuff. So I put like eggs and junk like that on them.
Yeah, rice cookers are awesome. I love my rice cooker.
You know what I like to? I like to cook it with I'll make up some chicken stock first. I'll put some bouillon in some water and boil it, and then use that as the water to cook it in. And
Oh
it's
yeah,
so
that's
good.
a good idea.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm
Just
afraid to
raw.
try that. I'm just worried like I'll ruin my baby and like just send like the ghost of a chicken through the steam collector at the top.
Steam collector.
Yeah, there's like this weird like clear thing that the steam goes through. I don't get it. Like the
Oh yeah, it has a
I mean,
little
I-
tiny hole where it escapes.
yeah.
Like a little. Is that what you're talking about?
No,
a
it's
little
like it's got this weird like the manual
Like a
says
filter?
take it off and wash every now and then. It says it's like a steam something. I forgot. I didn't read the manual very well.
Alex, I don't know what kind of rice cooker you have. I just have a glass top with a little hole in it.
Yeah,
where the
See,
steam
ours
can
is
get
like
out.
a little a plastic outside, and you close it down. It has this plate with holes in it, or a bowl with holes in it. that you
Oh
set on
yeah,
top.
I've seen that time. No, I have the circle
Mine
one.
looks like a crock pot and a blender had a baby. You can't see it inside of it, but yeah, it costs like $20 on Amazon, and it's made by Aroma. You know, that familiar company their grandparents bought appliances from decades ago.
Yeah,
Aroma.
they're still around.
No.
Aroma, purveyor of fine appliances everywhere, but probably just rice cookers.
$20 rice cookers.
Well, how about
Actually,
this?
that may not even be the name.
So, is your rice cooker called the Aromatic?
I'm going to segue this.
What?
Speaking of classical things, the NES. Alex decided to throw into the show notes stupid kids reacting to NES videos.
Oh, I love those videos.
They got Arya Stark to react. They were like, "We're not doing a video, or we're not doing a reaction video. We're doing a console video, and react to this."
I
And there-
talked about this on last week, so I decided to actually look it up, and it's actually MTV that produced it, and it's kind of weird when you watch it because like the set piece looks like something from like a children's show, like the Nick Jr. shows that have like just primary colors and all the backgrounds, and Arya's dressed up like basically like a Disney kid on a after school time slot Disney Channel sitcom.
She totally looked like we're gonna show you this thing from the 80s. Dress up like you're from the 80s.
No, I watched this before.
Yeah,
I
it's
watched Game of
ridiculous.
Thrones.
You watch it. It's like they showed her like tooth extractors from like the 17th century. Like I have a hard time believing that she, living like in her lifetime, has never seen NES before.
Is she still in
You'd
her
be like
teens?
6.
I know.
I think
She's like 20.
Yeah, she's like 21 or something. She's not like seriously. She's not like 6 years old. The video's
She's
so
a-
weird.
He's a 90210 teen.
She's good for WB now to play a high school teenager.
Exactly.
I have to just keep making videos like that with her forever. Like when she reaches like Betty White age, they're gonna be like, "Oh man, we're gonna show her an iPhone. You will not believe her reaction."
Well, I did. Okay, so she was one of them that actually figured it out the best. Out of
Probably because
everybody.
she played one.
Probably. Well, there was somebody else who said they did. They probably cut through theirs because they wanted a reaction of her. But the other thing, she's like, "Oh yeah, kids these days just won't know how it goes." What am I saying? I'm a kid these days.
I was gonna say, and didn't the NES Classic just get sold out? So I feel like people would be aware of what it looked
But
like,
they
even
didn't
if
know
it's a
how
mini.
to deal with the cartridge as
Yeah.
much. That was the problem.
Yeah,
Because
this
they
video
stick it
came
in.
out like a couple years ago. It's before the NES Classic was.
Oh, okay.
But even then, the NES Classic just looked like the NES, right? It didn't have a little opening door where you could put a
Correct.
cartridge in.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
And then pretty much
Wow.
all of them, they put in, they pushed it down, and it didn't work. So like,
it
you're supposed to
flashed.
blow into it, right?
There should have been some shrieky neckbeard that just walked in and just started shouting, "No, don't do that. Get some alcohol."
Yeah.
And let me pull up this wiki on how to scrub the contacts on it.
Well, even more like the people say that's not supposed to do it, and somebody's like, "Boom! I just proved it works." Like that was his entire response.
That'd be amazing if, like, in 50 years or so, like they talk about like ancient forgotten ways of like of like how to do things, and like they pretend like it's this old wives' tale that's recently uncovered that oh no, you can definitely blow in a cartridge and it's good for them. It's how you make them work.
They
And
love
people
it.
people just get their germs and spit and tarnish all over a bunch of NES cartridges, make them useless like 20 years down the road for the next generation.
I found that licking the cartridge was most efficacious. Just
It definitely works. It totally works for like for years, and it just gradually causes the contacts to erode. I mean, I don't think it like causes permanent damage, but you have to scrub the contacts if it ever gets like totally corroded.
Yeah,
Well,
what
there's-
happened is when you pushed it in,
Yeah.
because it was based all more like the Betamax and the top loader VHS players for the time period. So you pushed it and then you pushed it down, and if you didn't push it down hard enough or push it back far enough, it wouldn't connect. So what happens is after you blew in it, usually people were more mad about it, and they pushed it in really hard and they slapped it down really hard, which forced the connection better.
Mine, you had to like, when you were pushing it down, you had to like hold it up down against the front of the thing and then slide it in as you were pushing it down.
Oh yeah,
And,
for
and like pop into place just right. That was my technique that you.
That's kind of why I
Conversation-
learned to do too after a while. Like there's like the leads inside the NES are like slightly bent, so that it's kind of like a leaf spring. So if you can line up just right in there and have it closer to the front lip, and then push it down, it usually always gets good connection.
What, Jordan?
What?
No, you're like, what?
No, I also like to just gently maneuver it and then more vigorously maneuver it until it pops in just right. And if that doesn't work, then I just take it out and then try to put it in more vigorously.
See, and that's why all the next gen consoles work so well, because you just slapped them in and they just worked great.
It's all
No,
about patience.
Sony and Microsoft just tired of nerds putting their dicks in consoles.
Yeah, that's actually what I was talking about. And then when I found out
That's why they switched to optical drives.
yeah.
And
I thought-
Nintendo's like, no, we're going to be the last holdout. We're going to keep cart slots forever.
Well, their argument for the time was because piracy was starting to pick up, and Sony was having a hard time keeping stuff from being pirated, and CDs weren't that expensive, but cartridges still were harder to make
Pirate, yeah.
and more expensive and harder to rip. So Nintendo's like, to prevent piracy, we're staying with the old technology, and it was okay.
It's like 100% anti-piracy is like their main motive. Because I mean, like there are a lot of CD consoles before the PlayStation came out. There was the 3DO, there was the CDI, and there's also the Sega 32X, and all of those just were massive. Actually, I think the Saturn also predated the PlayStation by a little bit too, and all those are just like huge failures. But I think the other problem was Nintendo just wanted to have the ability to like expand on it. And if you have a cartridge, you can do that. Like you can put extra stuff into the cartridge, so later in the console's lifetime, you can do stuff like the FX chip. Because like if you look at like if you take a look at the later parts of the NES library, the reason they look so good is you're playing a literally different console than the games that were available when the SNES first came out. So I mean, there's reasons to do that. They had like expansion slots and stuff they stuck on like other consoles to give them a little more oomph. Then 64 had the RAM expansion, but for the most part, that's the most seamless way of doing it because you didn't have to package or sell separate pieces of hardware to make your game run faster.
But
Yeah,
I thought Sega had stuff that plugged into the back. And actually,
Because the 32X is one of those, but I mean, for the most part, those didn't sell very well because they were separate pieces of hardware they had to buy.
Yeah. Yeah, I was annoyed with the RAM pack because it is obligatory to play Majora's Mask. And yeah, it just seemed inconvenient because I'd never installed an extension to the console before.
The other problem might just be pride alone, because you'll remember that originally Nintendo had worked on two other optical disc platforms. One is the Philips CDI. They licensed a couple games to Philips, and that was just a monster mistake. It basically poisoned Nintendo licensing games for the rest of eternity, pretty much, except for like educational games, and that's about it. And they also worked with Sony on producing a console. Like the thing that's going to be the successor to the SNES was going to be a CD console, but then Sony's like, oh, screw it, let's just make our own console. So they took the R&D for it, just ran off and made the PlayStation. And I have seen this bastard console with my own eyes.
Have you?
Yeah, I saw the Sony Facebook page. I'll see if I can stick a link to the picture in the show
I
notes.
saw a picture.
Yeah, that's what it's.
Yeah.
Did you see the prototype?
Yeah,
Did
that's
you
it.
touch it?
I was actually in front of the prototype. I took a selfie with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
There you go.
It's on my Facebook page. I'll see if I can stick it in the show notes.
So also with the
It's not that
SNES.
impressive. It's a gray box with a Super Nintendo controller coming out of it.
So I always to this day, I think discs are a garbage way to have games because you're rough with games. You're taking them out and
They'll
putting
get
them in,
scratched.
and they get scratched all the crap, and then you're out of game. But the cartridges, my neighbor kid filled mine with clay, and it was fine once we got the clay out. Another kid dropped the Game Boy game down the freaking toilet, flushed it, clogged the toilet up. They poured Drano down, cleared up the clog, but it still clogged up often because it kept hitting that game. So they got a plumber to come in there. He pulled out the game, they cleaned it up, and it worked just fine.
Well, also
Try
look
that
at,
with a disc.
Look at jump drives. Same thing. They go through washers. They go through all that stuff. You usually, kind of clean up the, all the connectors and pull everything off before it officially goes bad.
Yeah, no, the discs are just...
I've also owned I think pretty much. I don't know if I have an exact ratio, but I've had several PlayStations die on me, and I've never had a cartridge-based console die on me. My Game Boy started crapping out on me, but I was able to fix it. But once the optical drive starts going out, you deal with moving parts, and trying to repair something like that is not easy.
No, I've found Nintendo especially has been an extremely reliable manufacturer of consoles that don't crap out on you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've never had a Nintendo console, handheld or otherwise, just die.
So speaking of Super NES, the Super NES
we weren't
Classic.
talking of that.
That's good.
It was going to, Walmart online accidentally released it for pre-sale.
Yeah.
And it sold out in 40 minutes.
Are they owned by HBO?
No, because unlike HBO, they decided to cancel everybody's order. They were like, nope, because you're not the people that we intended to buy this.
Who are the people that they intended to buy it?
Walmart customers. They just had the online people. Walmart people, as much as they're trying to push it, they're not real Walmart people. They're the online internets.
So there's been a couple hot takes on Walmart pulling the pre-orders for the SNES Classic. One of the ones I read was that Nintendo actually said, "No, you can't do that. You're just not allowed to do it all." And I don't know how real that is. I mean, it's not unbelievable. That Nintendo would say, "You're bad retailer. Just take away those pre-orders." And it's also equally believable that Walmart was just like, "No, we didn't mean to do that. We want foot traffic in the store, so let's cancel these pre-orders." But there's this larger conspiracy theory that Nintendo's purposely keeping numbers down because they want to sell 100% of their stock for that SNES Classic, so it gets this kind of legendary status of this console that's better than it actually is.
Kind of like the old one was, yeah.
Which, when you think about it, Atari has done the same thing many years over and over and over again, selling just slightly revised, better versions of their last plug-and-play console, and invariably every one of them ends up in a bargain bin at some point. I think Nintendo's biggest source of shame would be if a console of theirs ever went in the bargain bin.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
Sounds like a hypothesis to me, Alex.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I didn't think about it that way.
Of course. Well, okay, fine. We'll go with this. Studio Ghibli.
What about them?
They're coming back.
Did they go somewhere?
Yeah, they shut down. They weren't going to make anything else.
What? Seriously?
They're still making stuff.
No, they shut down.
No,
Now they're coming back.
Hayao Miyazaki, he retired.
He's unretiring.
Oh, okay, yeah, because they've been producing stuff like Red Turtle.
He came back and he is working on War of the Caterpillar, which is supposed to be released in 2021.
I'm behind two movies by Miyazaki. There's the airplane one.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one either.
Planes? That was a good one.
Sequel to Cars.
200.
Yeah, it's the sequel to Cars.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was totally the director of that.
He used a different name.
Yeah, he was using his American alias.
Disney.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Pixar.
Okay, the one with what plane? What?
It's just
like
it takes place in World War II.
Was it 2 or was it 1? I thought it was early plane.
Might have been. I don't know. Like, I just know it has planes, and is done by Pixar, I think. Right?
I'm not sure who the distributor was. I'll see if I can find that one. It had a kind of forgettable title, but yeah, I saw it too. It's tight.
And then I think there's one other one that he did recently. By recent, the last a few years ago.
Yeah.
I haven't seen. It was after Ariete, which is the final one of his I saw.
Oh yeah, Kiki's Delivery Service.
The Wind Rises.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch that one either.
It's okay.
I like Porco Rosso.
2013. So we have a box set. We have a Studio Ghibli box set that we found in the Chinatown area in Las Vegas.
Nice.
And it has like all the old stuff. And like some really crappy stuff too.
Oh, that's right. I haven't seen the one that Miyazaki's son did, which is based on the Ursula Le Guin series, Earthsea.
Miyazaki's made a few stinkers. Like there's one I saw at the at local independent theater, and it was borderline unwatchable. It was really bad. Like it was like just beautiful animation. So that kind of kept me going. But yeah, it's pretty much throwaway. I'll see if I can find the title of it. It was another throwaway one. It's about like a guy who and a girlfriend, and I don't know, they didn't like each other, and then they liked each other. That's basically the synopsis of the movie. I typed in Miyazaki worst movies, and I didn't get very many good results. Maybe it's just a Ghibli flick. And it wasn't.
Google just rejects it. It's like, I won't compute those words together.
No, I think I know what I'm talking about. I can't remember the name of it, but it was kind of just.
Okay, meh.
Yeah, I never watched Pony.
Ocean Waves. That's it. And yeah, it was not a Miyazaki movie. It was a Ghibli movie. So that's why they brought Miyazaki back, because they were just like, all right, guys, have him make Ocean Waves 2. And there's just like a long quiet moment, like, maybe we just pay Miyazaki more money, he'll come back.
I guess what's coming out next month?
What?
Finally, to the U.S.
Ragnarok.
Your name. What's that?
Ragnarok.
Yes, that's also coming.
And I still didn't know how special it was that I saw that on a plane. Because I watched that in April.
Yeah.
What movie? I'm
Your
sorry.
Name.
Your Name.
I've been wanting to see that.
Yeah, that's a really good
since
anime
it came out
movie.
in Japan. Yeah, it's supposed to be the most successful anime ever released.
Still haven't seen it.
You mean Ghost in the Shell?
Yeah, that's a really good movie.
Like financially successful.
Oh.
Yeah. And also critically, like it's been getting really, really good reviews. And
I don't care what the critics say.
what
Monster
about
Truck
what
was
about
good.
the critic across from you?
Which one?
That's right, I watched it. It's a good
two of them.
movie.
I don't know. You're hit and miss just like every other critic. It's
Oh,
like I have my
whatever.
own tastes.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a thing?
It's
Your
usually
tastes
salty.
were like this.
My tastes are united.
You know what? If I were to like lick each of your arms in a blind taste test, I probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Well, no, I would inform you beforehand that mine is a little sweaty.
So, like Jack in the Box is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
Jack in the Box is definitely the sweatiest of the fast food places.
Yeah.
a nice hot and sweaty arm.
I'd probably just bite a little bit till I heard them, say ouch or something, and then I'd know.
I don't think I ever say ouch. Like, I would probably grunt in
Well, you'd
pain.
react. I'd wait for your reaction to hear what noise.
I was glad you brought that up. Our theater's not doing it, Bill.
No, there is a catch. Okay, so so Movie Pass, or one of the creators of Netflix, has this thing called Movie Pass, and it used to be you pay $50 a month and you can watch all the movies in theaters you want.
It's basically like they give you a card in the theater and then they subsidize the ticket that you
They
requested.
give you a MasterCard,
Yeah.
which means that you swipe your card, the theater will get paid from Movie Pass,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go watch your movies. If you want to buy popcorn, you have to do that on your own.
Yeah.
The Movie Pass won't do that. It used to be, because it was so few people, you used to have to take a picture of your card and the ticket and send it in. It sounds like they stopped that because they need to make sure they move everything along. And it's hard to do that when the new influx of people that are getting Movie Pass are going to show up
Mm-hmm.
because they dropped it down to $10 a month, and you can watch all the movies you want at quite a few theaters. But AMC,
Yeah, they're fighting it, aren't they?
they went to their attorneys and they were like, we want out of this. We don't want to do this. My question is mostly why, because Movie Pass sold stocks to cover all this, because the theaters are still making their money. I walk up, I slide my card, AMC or insert movie theater is going to make their money. Period.
Because they want monopoly power.
And it's also
And
what monopoly power are they losing?
That's the thing. Like
It's not good for
it's
not good
having
for
a
IMAX.
middleman. It's having a middleman. They want to
had it
have
before.
complete connection with the customers.
They had it before.
That they don't have that though. What do you call what's it called? The stupid place where you can go and buy tickets online for twice as much.
Fandango.
Fandango.
Exactly.
Yeah, but the customer pays full price. There's no subsidy or anything like that.
No.
Communal.
This isn't new. AMC is looking to get out of their contract because AMC has been part of this for a while.
Mm-hmm.
They have had the middleman for a while.
Okay. And
This isn't new. They didn't like, oh, you dragged us into this.
Mhm.
What have you done?
But
No,
they-
they've been like, we've been doing this for a while.
they want out.
Now they
That's
want
what you're
out
saying.
because too many people are, because ticket sales were plummeted over the last year.
Mhm.
They're lower
Yeah,
than
it's
they've ever
because
been.
they jack it up too much.
Yeah, a lot of theaters are having that. So this is a good compensation. Go to quite a few. It does not work on IMAX or 3D. Now, I don't know how that works in comparison to
Oh yeah, Big D.
Big D or some of the other ones because they're not IMAX huge, but they are still specialty. But all they officially said was IMAX and 3D. They didn't say anything about any of the specialties. So it may or may not work. Maybe you get this and you're only stuck in the regular theaters.
Oh no, I can't watch 3D movies. What will I do?
I know. I'm like,
Ah.
I'm like, no pain there.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of interested in why AMC wants to argue this, because
That's
they're
why.
still going to make money. They're still going to make all the money they get. They're going to get more customers in their place, which means they're going to
More
sell more
popcorn.
popcorn and
Yeah.
more concessions.
And people who are paying $10 a month are going to be so much more likely to buy popcorn and
Instead of sneaking it in.
Yeah.
I think it's an element of control. You guys may be
Oh.
mystified by that.
No, and that's
but-
the other thing. Because also why this sounds hokey and everything, because it does, is like I said, MoviePass sold a bunch of stock so they could support the first month or two of this, but they plan on getting everyone's analytics so they can sell off to
Yeah.
better advertising. These areas are watching these movies. Do this type of advertising for these people in these areas and stuff like that. So they're hoping the majority of their money isn't going to be from us paying $10 a month.
It's our
going to be
metadata.
it's going to be the
Yeah,
them selling
because
the
they'll
data.
lose tons of money. All you have to do is go to like 3/4 of a movie with the ticket prices, basically, a month, and there's your $10.
Oh yeah, in most places that you go to a movie, it's paid for it. So
Right.
so
He just said 3/4 of a movie.
3/4. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because the most painful thing about watching The Dark Tower was not The Dark Tower, but it was that I spent $30 for 2 tickets to watch that abomination.
And that's okay. That's something else. So this isn't also,
I
you know,
liked it.
I get the card and then
You
I
read
get
the
everybody
books?
in.
No.
Everybody has to have their own individual card.
So it's $20 a month for Anna and I.
Correct.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
man.
still way
That's
cheaper.
It, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it crashed the website earlier, like 8:30. I read about it last night. I threw it on. We were going to talk about it. It went into effect this morning. By 8:30 Mountain Time, the website was crashed. Plus, if you're going to try it, do it through the app. The website is kind of weird, so just download the MoviePass app and
Yeah, the website like wanted you to sign up before it even tell you if your theater was eligible. It was weird.
Actually, so did the app. It was weird. It was, and I didn't hear about the AMC stuff. Like I signed up before the AMC stuff came out.
Is there like a requirement to stick with it for a year or something?
No, you can cancel
So you
it.
can cancel
And that's the
anytime.
other thing is, even if AMC does win this battle, it's probably going to be at least a few months. So there's, if you're wanting, in Pocatello, or you only have the AMC local, you might be able to get advantage out of it. Still, it's worth to sign up with us. We have like Idaho Falls, which is a different franchise company.
Yeah.
Go check them out. But with yours, like, what are you meaning? Like with AMC wants all the power. There's nothing they're going to lose with this.
Well, they want direct interaction with the customers.
They
It's
don't.
the
They never have.
transaction.
They sell through Fandango, through Atom, and they've worked with this company already.
But it's not a pool system. It's not like
It is.
well,
It was
collectively.
before. It was a pool system before.
So when you go through Fandango, you don't have
No,
to.
not Fandango. I'm talking about MoviePass.
Right.
Before it went to $10,
Uh-huh.
it was $50, and AMC was on board for that.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that with a pool system, it's sort of like insurance. So if you collect a lot of individuals who are participating, then you have a wide reservoir because there are those who do not watch as many movies, and then there are those who watch more movies, and so that makes up for the excess, and they model it so that they make a profit, even with accounting.
So that was
for...
MoviePass, though. They were
Right,
the pool
exactly.
system. They were
And
No, but their distribution of the income back is probably not instantaneous as like running a debit card.
No, it was. That's what they did. They worked with MasterCard. MasterCard paid the theaters. They paid MasterCard.
right. So
This is instantaneous.
So the accounting, like the only reason I would account for this is because they want to remove that form of business done with them, even if they're getting paid ultimately the same
Even
price.
though they've been doing it.
Exactly.
Maybe they figured out what the long game is for Netflix, and they saw themselves getting replaced in the end, and so they want it to fail. I mean, it's a thought.
Well, I could see one of two things. Yours, I'm not quite sure if I get it.
Yeah, it's
why. No, this is what I was thinking. Is one, it's the point system.
Mhm.
They have their Stubs rewards program.
Mhm.
You're still making those points. You're not paying for it.
Mhm.
But the AMC is still making their money, but you're still making your free points. There could be something that they might not like about that. The other thing is if this becomes Netflix huge, if this becomes bigger than AMC, the number one theater franchise out there, they become so big they might be able to go. Remember how we were paying you 100%? We're paying you 50 now. And if you say no, we will step away from you, and you will officially lose profits at that
So,
point.
Bill, are you saying there's a problem when there's a middleman who removes an element
Bill,
of control?
Oh,
I have the official statement from them, so you don't have to guess.
Yeah.
It says, AMC claims in a statement this is not a good business model. They said, from what we can tell, by definition and absent from other form of compensation, MoviePass will be losing money on every subscriber seeing 2 movies or more in a month, which is like the data mining is what they said and thing of that too. And they said, that's the predictable part. Then comes the defensive part, which is in AMC's view, the price level is unsustainable and only sets up consumers for ultimate disappointment down the road if or when the product can no longer be fulfilled. The price over time will not provide sufficient revenue to operate quality theaters, nor will it produce enough income to provide filmmakers with sufficient incentive to make new great movies.
Okay. I feel like AMC, whether they're
That's
seeing that.
corporate doublespeak for we want to bend you over. And
Yeah.
This makes
Yeah.
it harder.
But
No,
you know what AMC
Well, yeah.
should do? The AMC should just adopt the Uber or the Airbnb model, and they just lease out people's living rooms, so you go watch the movies at their house. And because you're on a subscriber plan, you just go to any participating member's house any time of the day, just go inside and start watching a movie.
Yeah.
Well, no, I do see a problem, and it's in this, and it's the same reason that someone at one point explained to me that why the popcorn's so expensive there. And so if everybody goes to see a movie every night, then they're always going to be full. And that might be good to a certain point, but people are going to burn out and just stop going to the theater because it's always empty or always full. They every time they go there, they have to wait in this huge line because the whole town has decided to go see movies. They don't have enough theaters for it all. And I mean, on one hand, they're getting all those ticket sales, and that's just a huge amount of money.
And there'll actually be people in the seats. And I've gone to the theater and been the only people.
They seem.
If they had
And I'd be willing to check out
going,
some mediocre
I think
movies, maybe.
If they had a predictable return revenue of everyone going all the time and is full constantly, I think
They
they
could
just
drop
expand.
prices. Well, they could expand. They could drop prices. And
But
stuff
also
like I don't
those
know.
ticket prices aren't always set by the theaters. They're sometimes set by Hollywood because...
Well, not really. We went
Sometimes, not always.
Cinemark in Utah is way better. We saw Dunkirk in IMAX for $9.
But yeah,
Wow.
and then,
And
there's
AMC
stuff like
would
that.
charge $17.
Because there is competition. But also, when Disney goes down, when Marvel movies and Star Wars comes out, and Disney goes, there are no discount tickets for the first 3 months on this movie.
Well,
Period.
let's discount tickets.
That means that's the corporation that made the movie going, we are setting the price and we are not letting you become a middleman on this.
No, they're not saying because you find a more competitive area, then you'll find theaters where they're cheaper than where it's less competitive. Like the theaters, they're leased a movie and then they have to give a certain amount of returns per viewers, but then they make the rest.
Yeah, well, for like it starts dropping off. Like the first, week or month, it's almost 100%, and then as the movie's been in theaters longer, the percentage starts dropping, and then the theater starts making a larger percentage.
Okay, but I don't even know where I was going after that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure of the pricing model, other than the Hollywood gets its fraction, which is pretty good, and then the theater gets its fraction, which is better.
Well, because the popcorn's so great priced. Yeah. But the other thing is, with AMC going, we don't see this lasting, it's just going to fail. Okay, so or MoviePass is looking at through the Google idea. Here's a fairly cheap product. We're going to make plenty of money off of it. No worries. Even if this fails, I still look at it as I should take advantage of this right now. If it fails tomorrow, I'm going to have got at least my money's worth out of it.
Yeah, exactly. No, but it is basically, as we're talking about in this discussion, is AMC is threatened by something that they don't have control over, and so they don't have direct control. That could actually,
force their hand.
Yeah.
So that could be.
Well, I can also see, maybe let's play the devil's advocate and say they're not lying to us and that they actually mean it. As a standard consumer, I get this MoviePass thing, it lets me go see movies, blah blah blah. As far as I'm concerned, especially in a town like Pocatello where there's just the one theater that shows us new movies, MoviePass is AMC. And so if I start getting bad service from them or the price keeps going up and up and up, I'm not going to be mad at MoviePass per se. I'm going to be mad at AMC because as far as I'm concerned, it is AMC. I mean, I'm not saying like me, Ted, because I can understand the difference. But having worked on the phone, talking with customers a lot, that's the way they think. That's the way. So they don't see a distinction between the theater and the app.
Yeah, and that's a valid concern, and it would be right to be worried about how this intermediary reflects on their own reputation. Exactly. But
like playing devil's advocate, right?
Yeah, I don't believe
it's a good point. So they're worried about their numbers being hurt, because they're in a lot of places where, like Pocatello or Idaho Falls, where there's only one theater, and
short
they are.
Term, it'll be fantastic. Long term,
it's questionable.
May ultimately hurt them.
And it won't work either way.
Well, it's a mixture of things because they could have a valid reason for their position. I think the whole we're worried about our customers' data being stolen. I don't think they actually care about their customers.
No, they've been stealing their customers' data. Yeah, everyone who cares. If you buy something online, offline, whatever, if you have an account, why do you think why do so many places have loyalty programs? It's because I can tie you to a number, and I know what your number. I know what you do as a number.
Targeting marketing works.
Yeah.
I'm getting coupons from Petco that are for very specific products.
Yeah.
And we buy those specific products with the coupons that they
for
get.
me. Like I never find on Facebook usually the sponsor.
No, you have to actually.
It got mailed to me.
Yeah, like Fred Myers does the same thing with me.
Full disclosure, I was planning on buying those before I got the coupon. The coupon was just kind of nice.
Oh no, that's what happened. Fred Myers does the same thing where I've bought some stuff and then they send me coupons. They're targeted towards what I purchase. So I was going to buy this item anyways. Was I going to buy it through you? Maybe not. This coupon makes me walk into your store, and I did. I bought a few more items, but I definitely bought those.
Yeah, I never check my mail, so.
Yeah, you should probably do that.
Really?
People still send snail mail.
Do they?
Yeah. And plus, how many loyalty programs are you on?
Actually, I did check my mail, and I noticed that the mailman left a vacant sort of thing. So you
get no mail.
Yeah.
You should probably update your loyalty program address.
I I don't have anything that I'm loyal to.
See, then that's why you don't get any coupons.
Don't you have the Stubs program?
I am loyal to that, I guess.
There
That's
you go.
true. That's true.
But yeah, I wanted to, because it's interesting. If AMC wins, we got a couple months. If AMC loses, I think we got a couple of years. And there might even, which would even mean that, well, unless MoviePass goes under, then we might still only have a couple months.
I'm actually, this has been informative. I'm going to have to sign up for that.
I already downloaded the apps.
Yeah, I
wanna
recommend
do it.
going downloading the app. I tried online. I had issues. Also, you can use PayPal. I had issues linking my PayPal to it. Kept on resetting on me, so I had to use my credit card directly. Luckily, my bank has credit card protection, so I'm like, because I like PayPal, they have a little extra protection in there.
Bill, I think I know what the really heart of it is too. When I was reading a few articles,
What?
is that they said, so AMC is opposed because they view it as an unsustainable model. So they think by making it that cheap, people are going to run on the theater, and then they'll get used to it. And so their stocks are already failing. Like they're basically
AMC's
a
down.
failing company already. And so they're worried if people get too used to this after a few months too, and then it goes away, and then you show up to the theater and they say, "Oh, sorry, MoviePass is dead." Like that'll be $27.50 that people will give them the bird and walk out, and like they'll really realize how much that
So that's
company
why-
was really bending them over the entire time.
And that actually could hurt AMC then, even in the short term, if they successfully do this. Because, like I said, this is if AMC does win, it's going to be a few months initially anyways.
By hurt, you mean customers will realize how deeply they've been exploited?
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe.
Because that's what it is. Because people get used to certain things. It's just like if you, I think of it as like soda pop. Like people have an idea that soda is extremely cheap because it
Yeah.
is extremely cheap.
Yes.
And if you found out there was this magical mystery subsidy that was there too, and then all of a sudden it's super high up
You
again
mean like
too.
corn?
Then
The
people
subsidy on corn?
on
That's
corn.
why soda's so cheap, is because high fructose corn syrup is super
Yeah.
cheap because
Yeah.
there's huge corn subsidies.
Ted, I originally thought you said porn.
I know. I thought you said porn too. I was like,
You're like,
what?
I'm like, no,
It's like
I'm
Ted,
serious.
you're gonna have that talk on the podcast.
Again?
So here, hey, so we're putting in the show notes. Might even be, no, I won't put it in the picture, but we'll put it in the show notes. Alex and his
He has proof.
Sony PlayStation.
He looks-
Nintendo, Sony
The
PlayStation.
Nintendo Sony PlayStation.
He looks shocked yet somewhat pleased.
It is a great
That's how I felt.
expression.
I took the picture while it was hot, and like after I got to hang out there or met with him, like, it's okay. It's like a weird cartridge thing too. I think it could play like Super Famicom games and also do CD games. I think it was like kind of intended to be like maybe a bridge between the SNES and like a CD system. So
Yeah, the carpet kind of looks like it's a prototype for an optical illusion.
I know that. Yeah.
the Oregon Convention Center has just bizarre carpet inside. Like for some reason, Portland decided, all right, our convention center is going to have bizarre carpet, and our airport's going to have even weirder carpet. Both of them get weird carpet, and everybody, if they see a photo of it that's ever been there, will recognize that carpet. For some reason, that's like what they want. They want to brand their carpet.
I bet that ugly carpet is cheaper per square foot. Just saying.
That might be it. They may have just gotten a really good deal on two horrific looking rolls of carpet.
And if it stains up from everyone walking on or spilling things,
No one will notice.
nobody notices or cares.
Yeah.
But I
they're
don't
like-
know why. I don't know why I describe it as horrific because it's. I mean, like carpet's not that impressive to look at anyway. It just looks weird.
I don't know.
I
I
mean,
was
I'm
in,
judging about this carpet like I'm deeply invested in like carpet.
this actually is gonna bring me to an anecdote, which is I was in Cappadocia one day, and they're showing me some carpets because that's what they do in Turkey, and they showed me a carpet that is about I don't know, is 5 feet by 5 feet spread, and is worth $100,000, and it wasn't
Handmade.
that great.
Yeah,
I
they're
looked
alright.
at it, I was like,
Yeah.
and I looked disappointed.
Do you spill
That's
Pepsi
my-
on it?
No, they frown on that. I kind of
It was hung up.
teasingly lifted my drink.
Ah! And you're like just like sloshing your Slurpee over the top of it, like every dumb tourist.
Yeah, I was lying for comedic value. They don't allow drinks there. Perhaps intelligently, I don't know. I'm not sure with carpets.
All right.
Are they
Did you see that?
standable?
Did you see that video of? I think Gizmodo posted a while ago of this girl taking a selfie in front of like this art expo, and like she happened to just like move a little bit back to get a little bit better picture, and she knocked one of the pillars with one of the pieces over, and just domino effect. It was just a domino effect all the way through the gallery, and knocked over like all this priceless art.
I vaguely remember.
I bet
something.
she found out the price.
No,
of
I
that
think I'm
priceless
thinking of the
art.
guy who was looking at some TVs at like a store, and he stepped back and knocked over like 3 LCDs, like 60-inch LCDs that were laying behind him for some random reason.
I don't know if I don't know if it's like a really famous artist. Like the artist says like, man, it's priceless art, but I mean, you can't be that heavily invested in your art that like something like that happens, you're showing it off, and someone's butt ends your art. I mean, that's if you can't get a laugh out of that, you're just playing life for the wrong reasons.
So we'll wrap things up. Want to talk about Snake River Comic Con? It's coming up.
Snake River Comic-Con.com.
So it's going to be September 29th to October 1st. And you can go to their website, snakerivercomiccon.com, to pick up your tickets, or purchase your tickets, and then they get mailed out to you. But we're going to have, Russ Adams, which is doing some research, looking at everybody, buying out stuff. So Russ Adams, he's actually does special effects. He worked on special effects. You guys will like this. On Pirates of the Caribbean, it's not all CGI.
Practical effects, buddy.
Yep. We have comic creators. We have creators for the Zombie Nation .com. It's actually kind of a fun, entertaining online comic where they talk about all these events. They moved into a house that was possessed, but the neighbors will never visit you, so that's a good thing. Jason Brubaker is going to be there. He has his coffee table comics. He does publishes stuff online. He actually just got his 3rd book for Sithra.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, through his Kickstarter. So that was really, really fun. I'm going to get that finished up and read. We're going to be there. It's going to be at 3 event areas, and there's going to be a bus. They're going to bring out the old classic bus. There's talk he might dress up like Mr. Rogers. He's going to drive you around, so you get to see, and each event area kind of has its own little setup. But you can see about all the events. What I like about this, if you go, you can look at the event area based on location, time, rooms. There it is, programming. There's a master list, but there's by day or there's by venue. So you can, and it's, I think like the by day one looks really well laid out. Mm-hmm. See when everything's going to happen. But yeah, that's going to be, I'm looking forward to that. How about that? But yeah, we'll wrap things up. Anybody famous last words? Go, Alex.
Sean Connery could definitely not say Szechuan sauce. I could even say it.
Yeah, AMC still owes me $30 for the Dark Tower.
I don't think it's just AMC. Stephen King.
Yeah.
I mean, neither could Bane. Szechuan sauce.
Do they actually have the Szechuan sauce out?
All right, so
No.
Yeah, I was mistaken
No.
earlier
We
before the
should get it.
podcast.
We should get it to come out.
Just
Yeah.
crack Dead Mouse's head open and hold a nug under it.
No.
Szechuan sauce.
No.
I turned myself into a pickle, Morty! Boom! Big reveal. I'm a pickle. What do you think about that? I turned myself into a pickle! I'm Pickle Red!
Welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order?
Yeah, I'd like to get a 10-piece McNugget and a bunch bunch of the Szechuan sauce. Like, as much as you're allowed to give me. As much as you're allowed to give me. As much as you're allowed to give me. Szechuan sauce. Szechuan sauce. And it's delicious. And it's delicious. Szechuan sauce. Szechuan sauce. And it's delicious. And it's delicious. Szechuan sauce. Szechuan sauce. And it's delicious. And it's delicious. Szechuan sauce. Szechuan sauce. Szechuan sauce. Bubba dubba dub dub!
Laser guns and jetpacks and a space tank. Laser guns and jetpacks. Laser guns and jetpacks and a space tank. Laser guns and jetpacks. Look at these dead flies. Laser guns and jetpacks and a space tank. Laser guns and jetpacks. Laser guns and jetpacks and a space tank. Laser guns and jetpacks.
I turned myself into a pickle, Morty! Boom! Big reveal. I'm a pickle. What do you think about that? I turned myself into a pickle! I'm pickle red!
Welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order?
Yeah, I'd like to get a 10-piece McNugget and a bunch of the Szechuan sauce. Like, as much as you're allowed to give me. As much as you're allowed to give me. As much as you're allowed to give me. Szechuan sauce. Szechuan sauce. And it's delicious. And it's delicious. Szechuan sauce. Szechuan sauce. And it's delicious. And it's delicious. Szechuan sauce. Szechuan sauce. And it's delicious. And it's delicious. Szechuan sauce. Szechuan sauce. Szechuan sauce. Bubba dubba dub dub!
Laser guns and jetpacks and a space tank. Laser guns and jetpacks. Laser guns and jetpacks and a space tank. Laser guns and jetpacks. Look at these dead flies. Laser guns and jetpacks and a space tank. Laser